So the question comes, what is israf? Israf is the spending extravagantly, spending and using the earth's resources in an unbalanced way. We know, for example, that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the earth and created the resources that came from the earth, and then he creates mankind, and we know from narrations of hadith that those who are supposed to be sent to the earth will be sent to the earth, meaning that the population of the earth, those who reside in the earth, was something already predetermined by Allah. He, as the creator, makes sure that the sustenance matches the individuals, that each being has provision. So there's always this opportunity. So it's not just the sadaqah or the lillah, but it's also entrepreneur opportunities, which those who have wealth should give to those who don't have wealth. And this is where we see examples of financial instruments like mudaraba, which takes a person who has wealth and assists a person who may have a fantastic idea, but doesn't necessarily have the wealth or the startup that they need in order to get their idea off the ground. So this assists them in that process. So what we see is this system, this philosophical system, so the underpinning philosophy, and then you have this infrastructure in place which permits mankind to gain from the world, because this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for humans, wherever it may be, whatever creature, whatever creation, this is creation for humans, but not to do israf. Lam yusrifu, they do not exceed limitations. As in fact, we know that approximately the Prophet ﷺ used around 750 ml to make wudu, and roughly 4 times as much, about 3.5 litres, to make ghusl. Now when you say 750 ml, now we all know those 250 ml bottles that we buy to drink, only 3 of them. Now you try making wudu with that. So even though we might have the tap fully open and water splashing everywhere, the ritual aspect of it is to use only approximately 750 ml and rub. Sometimes when we're teaching students about the rubbing, and the students are somewhat confused, that why would you need to rub on your arms when you're making wudu? For crying out loud, you've got gallons of water pouring down. Similarly in ghusl, why would you need to rub the body when you're performing ghusl? The reason being is that you have a small quantity of water. Naturally the skin's oils will prevent the flowing of the water, and because of the low volume of water, if you don't use your hand, if you don't move the water across your body, then all your body will not get wet, and as a consequence your wudu or your ghusl is not done. And returning back to where we started off, these resources, they are finite, and we're realizing now unfortunately, us as Muslims, we've kind of dropped the baton, we've dropped the stick, because it's taken liberal societies now in the modern world to realize that, hey, if we don't replace the trees we're chopping in, say, the Amazon rainforest, or if we're not careful about how many fossil fuels we burn because of our desire to fly everywhere, or because of our desire for cars or modes of transportation, then eventually the earth is going to heat up, and we're going to be the cause of our own destruction. It is israf which has brought that about. But as Muslims, we should have been advocating for this green attitude, green being a colour which is close to the Muslims, that we should have been the ones advocating that particular position many decades ago, if not centuries. But unfortunately, we're just trying to catch up to the world, and we're so concerned about our sort of daily bread that we've not had the chance now, and unfortunately our deen has become something secondary. We've not even had the chance to talk to the world and say, look, israf is something that is forbidden in our faith. Israf is something in our resources, in our wealth, that we're not allowed to do, even if we own it. Owning it does not give us the right to spend it how we choose. Owning it means that there are ethics and guiding principles that we must adhere to.